Hello everyone, my name is Allison Chisholm. I am a graduate student at Eastern Illinois University, and today I will be discussing the courageous followership typology. In today's presentation, I will be discussing the founder of courageous followership. I will discuss what exactly courageous followership is, the 5 dimensions, and the characteristics of a follower, including the 4 quadrants, will also be discussed today. And I will conclude today's presentation with the limitations of courageous followership. Courageous followership was developed by Aray Shalef, and he developed this followership because he was horrified with the actions that took place during World War II, especially with the devastation that occurred during the Holocaust due to the Nazi army and Hitler. He was baffled how someone could follow a man so evil such as Hitler, and he created this followership in response to Hitler's actions. Shalef believed that followers should work alongside their leaders and keep them in check, and that these leaders should not use their powers inappropriately in an abusive manner, and hence the courageous followership was born. Shalef stated that courageous leadership is built on the platform of courageous relationship. The courage to be right, the courage to be wrong, the courage to be different from each other. Courageous followership is about the relationship followers have with their leader. He wants followers to be responsible, influence others, and stand up to those who display compromised morals. This includes standing up to a leader if deemed necessary, such as if a leader wanted their followers to execute a policy or action that would cause harm to others and damage the organization. Like their leaders, followers want the organization to be successful, but not at the expense of causing harm to others. This is where the 5 dimensions come into play. They were created as a guideline for the courageous followership, and they encourage followers to take action against their leader if deemed necessary. These 5 dimensions consist of the courage to assume responsibility, the courage to serve, the courage to challenge, the courage to participate in transformation, and the courage to take moral action. In addition to these dimensions, Shalef also has 2 categories that followers can fall under within this typology. And those categories are the courage to support their leaders' actions and the courage to challenge them. And Shalef believes that the best follower has a mix of both characteristics, upon which I will explain in the coming slides. Courageous followers display a courage to assume responsibility. This responsibility and sense of authority is held both for their self and the organization. Courageous followers take initiative and utilize opportunities to fulfill their potential and maximize their value in the organization. Rather than waiting for permission to act, they take self-authoritative action to improve their organization through its external and internal actions and processes. Their sense of authority comes from their ownership of the common purpose of the organization. Courageous followers display a courage to serve. They are hard workers who complete their portion of the work and do not hesitate to take on new tasks. They take on additional tasks if needed and help others who are struggling. They are team players and work to better serve their organization. Followers also stand beside their leaders during challenging times and are passionate about fulfilling and achieving the common purpose of the organization. Courageous followers have a courage to challenge. They voice their discomfort or disapproval to behaviors and policies the leader is enacting or attempting to enact. They are prepared to handle the conflicts that await them for the sake of supporting what is right. Hence, they are willing to stand up and risk rejection when challenging the actions of the leader. Courageous followers will not abandon their integrity and the overall purpose of the organization for the sake of their leader. Courageous followers also have the courage to participate in transformation. Followers are not shy to advocate for a need for changes to take place within the organization. They realize that bringing about change will be a struggle and a challenge, but they continue to advocate for it and support their leader in any way that they can for the good of the organization. During this time, they also examine their own need for transformation and become participants themselves in this process. Courageous followers also have the courage to take moral action. Followers know when it is time to take a stand against their leader. This stand could occur in the form of refusing an order, consulting a higher level of authority, or offering one's resignation. While it is often difficult and risky to take a stance against the leader, the follower knows that their stance is what is best for the organization. Courageous followers display two characteristics: the courage to support their leader's actions and the courage to challenge them. These of which will be explained in the coming slide, and they consist of the 4 quadrants, which I will discuss here in a few moments. Here we have the 4 quadrants upon which I was mentioning in the previous slide. And these 4 quadrants aid followers in determining their level of commitment to their leader and the organization. Quadrant 1 is a follower who has high support and high challenge. They are thought of to be a partner to the leader, and they are the ideal follower to have. They support the leader, but also challenge the leader if they are making decisions and or policies that infringe upon the good of the organization and its mission. Quadrant 2 is a follower with high support and low challenge. They can be thought of as an implementer. And this follower supports their leader, but offers little to no challenge towards the leader if and when the leader wants to steer the organization in a negative direction. Quadrant 3 is the individualist. This person offers low support and high challenge. They offer little support to the leader, but are quick to challenge their actions, whether good or bad. This person can be thought of as a leader want to be. And the last quadrant, quadrant 4, is a person of low support and low challenge. They are thought of to be as like a resource. And this follower is of little value to the organization, and they are basically like a freeloader. They are uncommitted to the cause and display minimal effort towards their work. Basically, they're just working for a paycheck. There are a few limitations to this ideology. First is Shalef designed this to be implemented in a larger organization, and he does not offer insight as to how followers should proceed in a small business or those that are family-owned. For example, in a larger organization, if a follower confronts their leader about their actions or policies and the leader brushes them aside, or the leader results to corrective action towards this follower, the follower could then go to human resources and voice their concern, and human resources could intervene from there. However, in a small business, there probably isn't a human resource department. And in addition, the leader of the organization in, say, a small business or a family-owned business is probably the CEO too. So confronting the leader of the small business could create a major conflict or result in the follower being fired. Secondly, Shalef does not give insight towards the negative consequences that a follower could experience should they choose to challenge their leader. course, some of these consequences are things that I mentioned previously, such as a follower experiencing corrective action or being fired for challenging their leader's authority. In conclusion, I will leave you guys with the reference slide, and I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you learned something. Thank you.